why I'm legend. Here, right in the present. This is my confession. Please stop the guessing. They peeked through my window while I was stressing. They borrowed swag from me, it's clear, without a question. This is why I'm legend.
Well, topic on this video basically is about Kamala Harris. You know, they're trying to say that she's the first black female vice president and potentially the first black woman president. If Joe Biden, perhaps, you know, they saying he's losing his mind and he's losing himself. So if he has to stand down because his brain, you know, he's getting old. You know what I mean? So if he had to stand down, she could potentially be the next. She could be the first female president. So that's what I'm gonna say right there. But I made this video because basically there's a lot of questions about her ethnicity and her nationality and who her parents are. And according to the news and some of the you know, the articles and stuff that they releasing, the birth certificate and all that, they trying to say her pops is from Jamaica. But again, y'all got to think about this stuff. Just because somebody was born somewhere don't mean they ethnicity. Ethnicity is different from where you're born at in that sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're an African man born in America, that don't necessarily mean you're American if your family is everybody from Kenya or Nigeria or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be mindful when you hear people say that they claiming this African American title or this black title, because a lot of these people, just because a person look darker skin, you know, don't necessarily mean that they black. You know, there's a lot of mixtures going on. Indian people are black. The actual Africans, like they call them the Hamites, which we aren't the Hamites. You know what I mean? We come from Shem. That's all in the Bible. If y'all know the Bible and people that know the Bible, you know, that's our bloodline. So a lot of times we get confused, and a lot of these politicians or these people in high places, they try to confuse us with this nationality, ethnicity, language, because they play on our ignorance. So I'm gonna play an insert from the Storm Show and featuring Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown, of course, he's a real judge, and he's in high places, and he know a lot of, you know, secrets and stuff like that. So we're just gonna hear what he say about Kamala Harris, and y'all listen very closely, because I'm gonna play another video right after this and show you why she answered the question about reparations the way she did. So tune in, y'all.
Not black.
No, she's not black. I don't know why they keep saying that, because she got a small percentage. She's not black.
She doesn't have a small percentage.
Oh, she don't.
He keeps showing her father's grandmother. The father, who is a college professor and wrote the article, said that grandmother was a Hindu house servant. So the only thing he has in him is Hindu and some Irish.
So she's Indian.
Because the Irish came in because they owned some plantations and they owned slaves. And the other thing is well, she's from Jamaica. But you see, Jamaica was part of the British Empire. As a matter of fact, they still have a governor general who represents the Queen, who has to agree to the installation of any prime minister. He can't stay in execution and issue pardons or commutations. He lives in a palace in Kingston. And you got a prime minister, and they represent the British government. Now, it's part of the Commonwealth. It used to be part of the empire. So you have people from Hong Kong, Singapore, Fiji, New Zealand, Australia, Pac.
Let me pause it real quick. Now, as he's saying, you got a lot of ethnicities. It's not only just black people, quote unquote Jamaicans in Jamaica. You got Chinese, you got the Hindus, you got the Indians, you even probably got some Africans that's actual African people, Hamites, right? Now, just because a person is born in Jamaica, say if a Chinese man is born in Jamaica, but he's told his family is directly descendants of China, that don't make him a Jamaican man necessarily. He's still Chinese ethnicity-wise, nationality-wise. So these are tricks. Y'all gotta pay close attention to it. They tricked us with that. They call you black. They call you black African American. They call you Negro. They called you colored at one point. So this is how they play on these words and these terminologies, these titles that they put on you. So just be mindful who you listen to. Oh, let me just say this too. They did the same thing with Barack Obama. They tried to say Barack Obama was like an African American, but come to find out, he's a descendant of the Hamites. His father is actually from like South Africa somewhere. So he's not technically African American. He don't stand for the principles and some of the struggles that we went through, the slavery and all these stories that we went through as black people over here in America. This is not his story. This is not their story. This is not their bloodline. So they could probably try to say that they, you know, they resonate with us or they of our essence because they play on y'all again. Once again, they play on you, calling you an African, knowing that you're not African. Even the Africans know you're not African. And this is all said in the Bible. So y'all just got to tune in with the Bible, man. Get out of that Christianity church because they ain't going to tell you the truth like that. And this is why we so easily overtaken. But I'm going to continue with the video.
India, Kenya, part of Nigeria, South Africa, Uganda, and all kinds of other places that were part of the British Empire. See, so I know one guy, he's got a beautiful daughter, drop dead gorgeous, and her mother is born in Jamaica citizen, but she's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, as are her parents.
See?
Who were born in Jamaica. But the parents are, guess what? English nobility.
Oh.
See?
Just happened to be born when they were checking on their Jamaican properties. So you go to St. Elizabeth Parish and you get a whole bunch of folks that look high, bright like me. And a lot of white ones down there. So you have people, hey man, you gonna go to get the Fosters? No. You gonna get a red stripe, man. And the guy that's talking to you is Asian and he's from Hong Kong.
See?
Or his parents are.
And I'm glad you said that because I don't know why. Like people are so closed-minded. They think that because it's Jamaica, everybody there is black with dreadlocks.
Right.
It's like,
Well, it's not. And you know what she actually is? You know what the anthropological term is for what Kamala Harris,
Listen.
her mother and her father are mostly?
What's that?
Aryans.
Oh wow.
Hindu.
You tell a lie long enough, loud enough, you get
Indian.
everybody to believe it. Aryan brotherhood, Aryan nation.
Y'all hear that?
Except for the Nazis believed that Aryans were blonde-haired, blue-eyed from the far north. No, they were from India, and they were swarthy, the dark.
Look at this map, y'all. The Aryans, they from India. So the Nazi thing that they was going on over there, this was, you know, it's confusion. You know, they make everything is about color. You know what I mean? That's why the white man, they kind of told you, yeah, you white, they white and you black, and they put these titles and all that. Knowing that they not, you know, these are not the titles that they ancestors went by, none of that type of stuff. So, you know, these historical places and these places that we read about, we got to look more into these things because this is some of the hidden stuff. You know, they changed the maps on us and all that type of stuff. Try to confuse you a lot, you know. The whole idea is to keep you confused. So just don't be confused, man. Pay attention to these maps. Read your history, you know, and know who people are. Because just because a person is dark-skinned, or maybe even they might be fair-skinned like me, light-skinned, whatever the case may be. Just because a person is light-skinned that look kind of black don't necessarily mean they black. You are the seed of your father. So if your father is white and your mother black, you actually a white man or woman. Because the seed of the father. You know what I'm saying? Your father's black, African American black, quote unquote, right? Then that will make you a black man. So that's just how that go. If y'all go into science and all that type of stuff, biology, that's just how it go. But people, I'm gonna continue with the video, y'all.
Skin
And they
dark
split
hair,
off.
dark eyes. The technical name for what Kamala and her family are is called I-N-D-O hyphen Aryan.
Wow. Because don't they believe
by
that?
the way, the birth certificate is interesting.
We bring that back. Let's hear that again.
Because don't they believe
by
that?
the way, the birth certificate is called I-N-D-O hyphen Aryan.
Wow.
Indo-Aryans. Look it up. Just look it up. Google it and learn something.
Because don't they believe
by
that?
the way, the birth certificate is interesting that they've got out there. My ex-wife was born in that hospital in the same 12-month period.
Okay.
And for mother, it says race Caucasian, even though she's dark, but she's classified as an Aryan Caucasian. So
Y'all see that?
Confusing white and black. For
Hello?
Negrito, Negroid, African, and Caucasian. See, Aboriginals in Australia, who are as dark as any black man from Africa, are classified as Caucasians.
Y'all hear that?
Pakistani, and so are Indians. You see.
All right, so this is not a history lesson on that. So we're going to go into this other video. And I'm going to show you why her answers was just like this. So pay close attention.
This is the world's first
now that y'all know,
cotton swab.
Now that y'all know some of the backstory on the African American story and how they play on our intelligence. Now that y'all know that she's not black. She's not the first black person. She just looks like a light-skinned black girl. She's not a black girl. She don't resonate with y'all. She don't know y'all history. She don't know none of y'all struggles.
More excessive wax.
You know what I mean? So listen.
Support reparations for black people. Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities.
Notice that she's saying we. She's saying we because she's trying to identify as that, right? As an African American, like she really knows. She don't know. She was born somewhere in the suburbs somewhere, and she wasn't even from the ghettos and all this type of shit that they try to, use that as a way to win our vote and stuff like that. And that's pretty much how she got on office. She won y'all vote with the lies, you know what I mean? Or Barack Obama as well, for people.
It's around housing. We have disparities around it.
Bring it back.
Segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the Lift Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you use for.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
So y'all heard that cracker. Y'all heard that cracker BS. You know what I'm saying? That's the interviewer right there. She asked an incredible question, put her on the spot. And you can tell by her features. Look at the hair, the creases in the forehead. We don't wrinkle up like that. Black don't crack is what they say. We could get fooled by the complexion and all that type of stuff, but she's not a black lady. She's not African American. She's not even African. She's Indo-Aryan or Hindu. You know what I'm saying? Indian, one of them, foreign countries over there. Middle Eastern somewhere. You know what I mean? But again, we got to stop allowing these people to play with our intelligence. They've been doing it to us so long. You know what I mean? It's pretty much been going on for a very long time. Historically, you know what I'm saying? They pretty much did that with y'all. And I mean, with us as African Americans, we came over here on the slave trade. You weren't a Negro necessarily. You weren't a black man. You weren't a colored person. You weren't an African American. You didn't become an African American until the 1980s with Jesse Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So that's another dude threw you under the bus, named you something else to throw the people off, and so you can never claim your nationality. So you can never know who you are, what landmass you from, and you keep claiming the continent when the people from the continent don't even claim the continent as their country, like where they from. You ask an African where he from, he going to either say Kenya, he going to say Nigeria, he going to name the country he from. There's 54 countries in Africa. You can't possibly be from the whole diaspora when they said we only came from the west coast of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So I'm showing this video because this is history, and this is blatant lies that they tell us as citizens of the United States, or quote unquote citizens of the United States. And we gotta stop falling for these tactics that these people use. They use these race tactics against us. They banking on your lack of information, your lack of knowledge, and your lack of just thinking, using your common sense. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of common sense out here in the world. So I'm just touching on this video because these are the people that we put in office. It's important that we choose wisely as people to get people to represent us. You got to know who these people are. Just because a person look black don't necessarily. You got to go do some research on these people before y'all start going and hit the vote button and all that and talk about how we got the first black lady and all that in office. Come to find out she's not even black. So, and they've been talking about this so long. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided to do a video. I thought it was important that y'all understand the difference and how they, bamboozle us. You know what I'm saying? Tricknology. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X told y'all about tricknology and how they use tricknology against us. You know what I'm saying? So that's another episode of GunnaSpeaks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I hope y'all just continue to tune in. Hope y'all enjoy these videos that I'm doing, man. I'm taking the time out to do this and share these ideas and share my thoughts with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to continue to tune in, man. Another episode of GunnaSpeaks. Same bop, different clock. And it don't stop. You already know the vibes. Swagcast.com, man. Go get you some. Bow. Bow. Peace. If you see me on YouTube or whatever, go hit the subscribe button. Ain't no thing. Just hit the button. Bow.